This is what I believe the 2A community needs in a Second Amendment-oriented organization in 2023, especially speaking to an organization that is currently hemorrhaging members at an unprecedented rate. If these demands speak for you, then please let me know that I am on or off base in the comment section down below. I'm making today's video for a couple reasons. The first reason is that I've already received multiple inquiries on whether or not I'll be attending the National Rifle Association annual meeting this year. It's being held in Indianapolis, Indiana, and I'm an Ohio resident, so it's basically a skip, hop, and jump over to Indy, and we consider Indy to be just down the road from us. So it's only a couple hours drive. It's not real hard to get to. Indianapolis Convention Center is actually halfway decent, and it's a little bit on the small side, so just fair warning if you've never been. But I also appreciate the chaos that is the NRA Annual meeting, so cramming it into a smaller space that's undersized for the actual event, it adds to the fun. So if you are attending, then please have a good time. I also recognize that the inquiries will intensify as we grow closer to the event, and I wanted to have something that was well-reasoned and parlayed to be able to just efficiently be like, hey, here's my response to that question. The second reason that I am making today's video is to reiterate my position on the National Rifle Association, because this is not a new thing. This is not something I just came up with recently. It's been like this for years. So those of you who have followed the channel for any length of time now will know that my response to that question is absolutely not. I will not be attending that meeting. Even though it is somewhat sad for me to not attend that event, because this is a great opportunity to interface directly with you guys. That's really the reason that I ever went, was to be able to talk directly to my subscribers that put me where I am. And you know what, some of the times you guys give me great ideas at the show that I've come home and acted on immediately because it was so fresh. So not only do I miss out on an opportunity to hang out with you guys and see some of my friends, but it's also a terrible financial decision not to attend the event, because I miss out on the opportunity to interface directly with vendors, to potentially develop new business opportunities with them, see some of the new stuff that's been brought out specifically for the NRA annual meeting. But just to give you a real quick anecdote, I've already passed up over $10,000 worth of booth appearances that simply would have happened just by the nature of me walking in the door. And you're like, well, Kurt, well, that sounds really bad. Why on earth wouldn't you attend the event? Well, quite simply, I drew a line some years ago, and I said, these are the changes that the NRA will make, or I will no longer be seen to support the NRA, which is, in a real quick caveat, there is no sponsor on today's video, because I did not want to assert my ideology onto another company that is supportive of the channel. I just didn't want to do that. So if you feel so inclined, then please check out our affiliates pages where you can get discounts on products that I stand behind. And those use of those discount codes generates a commission back to the channel. Thank you very much. That said, I'm not trying to cast shade on anybody who does attend the event, because as I mentioned, it is a terrible financial decision to pass up such a show. However, my principles, personally, do not allow me to be seen any way, shape, or form of supporting the National Rifle Association anyway. And if I were to attend the event, I would be attending as a media professional, and I would be wearing around an NRA badge. There is no way that I'm going to have an NRA symbol on me. It's just not going to happen. So, for those reasons, even though it is a bad financial decision to not go, and it is going to impact me negatively, my principles do not allow me to be in any way associated with the National Rifle Association for the stuff that they've done in the past. So I would like to see that change. And it is my hope that other people who are in my position will use their platforms to try to advance what we would like to see from the National Rifle Association going forward, because they've not cut the mustard, so to speak. To that end, I developed a list of demands that I believe are representative of the firearms community at large. This is what I believe the 2A community needs in a Second Amendment-oriented organization in 2023, especially speaking to an organization that is currently hemorrhaging members at an unprecedented rate. If these demands speak for you, then please let me know that I am on or off base in the comment section down below. If these come to pass, then I will once again support the National Rifle Association. And they are as follows. Number 1, Wayne LaPierre is not only immediately fired, but is stripped of any investments and benefits within the organization. Dude got a pension? No, you out of here. Number 2, the executive position within the organization is either eliminated or neutered to the point of becoming an actuarial position, ceding most of its power to the board of directors. I would like to see the salary cap for this position to be about $500,000, and my reasoning behind that is that we don't need a high-end executive that is just going to sit there and continue to hemorrhage money year in and year out and not give us very good return on our investment. However, we don't want some schlub in there. We want them to be duly compensated. I want a Second Amendment zealot in that position that is there for the purposes of advancing the Second Amendment, not there for the purposes of lining their own pockets. But we want to pay them a retainable wage. And that's what I would guesstimate would be required to be able to acquire somebody of that caliber. The right person, not the most expensive person. And then number 3, the organization must undertake and win a major case challenging some aspect of the National Firearms Act. I am so sick of this fuddy crap that the NRA goes after that is no longer representative of the American consumer and the American Second Amendment advocacy. The NRA needs to get in gear and get with the times and understand that it's not about duck hunting anymore, although I do appreciate duck hunting. I find it one of the most enjoyable forms of hunting. But it's not about ducks or deer. It's about the right to keep and bear arms, and it shall not be infringed. And that's what we expect the NRA to go after. And I think that there is no more appropriate way to show that they are advocates for the Second Amendment than to challenge the government in a big way, dealing in something that has been undermining the right to keep and bear arms for almost 100 years now. Anyway, last year I made a very similar video, and I lost a client. However, they were immediately replaced with 3 more clients. So this is a perfect way for me to evaluate who is Trader Brand and who is not. So in closing today, if you're one of those vendors that will be traveling from east of here or south of here to get to Indianapolis and you're passing through the I-70 corridor, give me a ring and I'll meet you for lunch or something like that. Have a good time at the show, everybody who's attending, and stay safe, stay dangerous, keep that powder dry.